Wealth has a language and very few people speak it fluently. It's not the language of money, status, or luck. It's the language of structure, patience, and leverage. The rich don't just earn differently, they think differently, they move differently. They understand something that most people never even stop to question. Wealth is not an event, it's an equation. A repeatable formula that compounds results no matter where you start. Once you understand that equation, you stop chasing income and start building inevitability. The problem is that most people approach wealth emotionally, not strategically. They move through cycles of motivation and frustration, expecting results from effort instead of structure. But wealth doesn't reward movement, it rewards alignment. When you understand how the pieces fit together, you begin to see that financial success is not random, it's engineered. Let's break down the wealth equation. It's made of 5 fundamental laws that the top 1% understand and live by. These laws create the difference between motion and momentum, between activity and acceleration, between surviving and compounding. The first law is the law of perception. Wealth begins in the mind long before it exists in the bank. What you perceive determines what you pursue, and what you pursue defines what you attract. The average person perceives money as something they have to earn. The wealthy perceive it as something they can design. The difference is control. When you see money as labor, you chase it. When you see money as leverage, you build it. That mental shift changes everything. It's the difference between trading hours and building systems, between saving pennies and designing pipelines. If you start by redefining what money is, you automatically change how you interact with it. Money isn't just currency, it's energy. It flows to clarity. Every dollar has a direction, and every direction has a return. Those who see it as a tool will use it to create motion. Those who see it as a master will always serve it. The moment you change your perception from scarcity to structure, you begin playing the game consciously. The second law is the law of behavior. Wealth is not a single act. It's a behavioral pattern repeated over long periods of time with emotional discipline. Most people underestimate this law because it's invisible in the short term. Emotional management is financial management. Impulse spending, reactive investing, and lack of patience destroy more wealth than lack of opportunity ever could. The wealthy understand that controlling their emotional reactions is the ultimate leverage. They behave strategically. They delay gratification not because they enjoy waiting but because they understand compounding. They make decisions based on expected value, not emotional noise. They track their habits like investors track performance. If your daily behavior doesn't align with your desired wealth identity, you're building against yourself. The third law is the law of leverage. Wealth multiplies through systems, not through strain. The poor and middle class rely on personal effort. The rich rely on leverage. There are 4 kinds of leverage: labor using other people's time and skill, capital using money to multiply results, code using technology to scale without effort, and content using digital assets to build authority and reach. The wealth equation becomes exponential when you combine multiple forms of leverage into a single strategy. Understanding leverage means understanding detachment from time. You cannot become wealthy if your income stops when you stop working. True wealth is measured in freedom of time, not the intensity of work. The wealthy think in systems, not shifts. They design assets that move while they rest. The fourth law is the law of time. Time is the invisible partner in every success story. It rewards those who respect it and punishes those who ignore it. Compounding is simply time multiplied by consistency. The reason most people never experience exponential results is that they quit before the curve bends. The first phase of wealth building is always invisible. It feels slow, unrewarding, and uncertain. But those who stay consistent through the silence eventually experience acceleration that seems effortless. The law of time demands patience and precision. The wealthy don't rush outcomes, they prepare for them. They understand that long-term alignment beats short-term excitement. They know that time magnifies both wisdom and mistakes. If you act with discipline, time becomes your ally. If you act with emotion, time becomes your enemy. Every decision compounds. Every choice becomes interest or debt. The fifth and final law is the law of identity. Wealth is not just what you do, it's who you are when no one is watching. The subconscious identity you hold determines your relationship with money. If you secretly believe you're not capable of wealth, you'll sabotage every opportunity that brings you close to it. The wealthy cultivate identity before income. They build self-trust before investment portfolios. They become the kind of person capable of managing abundance before abundance arrives. The law of identity also explains why financial change feels uncomfortable. You cannot out-earn your self-image. To expand your wealth, you must expand your internal standard. That means raising what you consider acceptable, not in luxury, but in discipline, focus, and long-term vision. The wealthy don't see success as an accident. They see it as a mirror. Whatever you believe, behave, and build consistently will eventually reflect back as your financial reality. Now that you understand the 5 laws, let's apply them in a framework you can use immediately. Start with clarity. Write down exactly what wealth means to you, not what society tells you it should mean. Define it in terms of freedom, not fantasy. How much do you need to live your ideal lifestyle sustainably? What kind of systems can support that without requiring constant effort? Next, identify your leverage. Audit your current work. Ask yourself, what parts of this could be automated, delegated, or digitized? What knowledge can I turn into a product or service that scales beyond my personal time? The goal is to move from active to exponential income sources. Then discipline your behavior. Track your spending, track your habits, track your distractions. Every wasted hour is uninvested potential. Align your daily routine with your future wealth identity. You can't build a millionaire's life with a mediocre schedule. After that, master your patience. Accept that compounding is boring before it's brilliant. Use time as your competitive advantage. While others seek shortcuts, you'll be accumulating skill, clarity, and credibility. Finally, refine your identity. Speak, act, and decide like someone already living your wealth philosophy. Every decision either reinforces or rejects your next level. The more congruent your actions become with your long-term vision, the faster reality will align with it. This is the true wealth equation. It's not about luck or timing. It's about structure, behavior, leverage, time, and identity. Those 5 elements create self-sustaining growth. You don't need more effort, you need more alignment. When all 5 laws work together, results become predictable. The irony of wealth is that it feels slow while it's building and sudden once it arrives. That's the nature of compounding. You'll be invisible for a while, then undeniable forever. In the end, money is not the reward, mastery is. Wealth is simply the scoreboard of your discipline, your patience, and your structure. The world doesn't pay you for how fast you move, it pays you for how precisely you think. This is Strategic Wealth Mindsets.